Who are you? And I'm not talking about who you think you are or who you used to be or who you want to be. Who are you today, right now, in present day? Who are you? Hi, my name is Tammy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss how to access your higher self and how to be the plot twist in your own life. We only have about a couple months left in this year, so I want to take this time to share with you all some tips on how I go into the new year happy, healed, and focused. So let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and get right into it. So every new year is a time to celebrate and look forward to starting a new phase or look forward to what's to come. At the beginning of the year, you hear people talking about their New Year's resolutions, things they want to accomplish, and you would definitely hear phrases like, New Year, New Me. But the problem with that is that there is not going to be a new you if you can't shake the old you and the old habits. It'll just be a new year, but another complacent you repeating the same old cycles. And y'all know how it goes at the beginning of every year. People get excited and very hopeful and ambitious to change for the better, but about 2 weeks in, they're back to their old ways. Now, not saying that this happens to all of us, but it does happen to a lot of us. It's the same feeling when you're a little kid and you get a toy, and for the first couple of days, it's all exciting. You're so happy to play with it. You can't stop thinking about it. But after about a week or so, that newness, that excitement starts to wear off. So the remedy to this is not depending on some magic reset button to change your life, but taking little mini steps along the way to access your higher self and to becoming a better version of you. So how do we do this? Number 1, spend time alone with yourself and get to know yourself. Who are you? And I'm not talking about who you think you are or who you used to be or who you want to be. Who are you today, right now, in present day? Who are you? A lot of times we get attached to traits that we want to associate ourselves with, traits that we used to have, or traits that are positive, or traits that we want people see us having. But as we grow and evolve and change, and our variables change, and our lives change, and our dynamics change, some of those traits change along with it. For example, maybe you used to be a good cook, and people used to brag on your cooking skills, but in actuality, you haven't really cooked in about 2 or 3 years, and you kind of lost some of those skills. So are you still a good cook? Another example could be that maybe you used to be a very clean and tidy and neat freak kind of a person, but as of lately, you've been very junky and disorganized, so you're not that neat, tidy person anymore. Maybe you used to be a very loyal and honest person, but maybe as of lately you have been lying and being manipulative and deceitful. So maybe you're not that honest person that people used to know you as. The point is, spend time with yourself, look yourself in the mirror, and be completely and brutally honest about who you are. Don't just embrace the good parts of you, but embrace the bad parts of you, all the parts of you. You have to know what you're dealing with before you can deal with it. And the way you do that is by spending time with yourself, taking that alone time to pray, to meditate, or do whatever it is you need to do to get in sync and back in tune with yourself. Sometimes we get so caught up in work and in life with family and friends that we actually forget about ourselves. And we do this thing I call escapism, where we go on social media, we do anything to distract us from ourselves, from dealing with things that overwhelm us, from dealing with things that we just don't want to face in the moment. But the truth is, you gotta dig deep and you gotta sit with yourself and you gotta address yourself. You have to say, who am I and who do I want to be? Who am I and am I satisfied with who I am? And if you're not, how can I go about making changes to that for the better? Number 2, self-care at least once a week. Take care of yourself. And like I was saying earlier in my first point, we get so bogged down with school, with friends, and just so many things going on. Just sometimes by the end of the day, we're just completely exhausted. And that exhaustion, that mental fatigue and that physical fatigue leads to us neglecting ourselves, neglecting our bodies, neglecting our minds. Just like our houses need maintenance, our cars need maintenance, our bodies need maintenance. Our bodies need to be nourished and replenished the same way you charge your cell phone when it's on 3%. When we're on 1% or 20%, we need to recharge ourselves. And self-care does not just have to be physical. It could be mental. It could be you getting your favorite food and watching a movie for some much needed inspiration. It could be you taking a couple of hours to yourself and doing absolutely nothing, which is one of my favorite things to do. And I remember how when I was little, when we were younger, we were told that idle time is not good. You should always keep busy. There's always something to do. But as an adult, I have learned that doing absolutely nothing, just sitting, just not really even thinking about anything, it's pure joy. To just have 30 minutes or an hour to just do, or a day sometimes, to just do absolutely nothing is a gift. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong, I like to be productive, I like to get things done, but I think just taking a moment to just step away is necessary. Just giving your mind and your body just a break from everything is necessary. Sometimes just being is all you need to do. Just be. Self-care is also staying off social media. Just tuning out everything so you can clock back in to yourself. Self-care is anything that you do to make yourself feel good about you. Self-care is something that improves you in one way or another. And the good thing about doing self-care at least once a week is that you won't get so backed up. You ever had a situation where you were just asked out of the blue to go somewhere with your friends, or you had somewhere really important to be, but you haven't really done self-care in, let's say, in about a month? So you find yourself not only scrambling about what you're going to wear, if you can even get there on time, you're trying to do all of these things to yourself. Hair maintenance, body maintenance. You got to go shave. You got to go wash your hair. You got to go do all of these things just to get back to the basic level. And then you got to do a little bit more to kind of go over just that base level. My point is, self-care is important. Number 3, get rid of anything toxic or anything that no longer serves you to make space for new and better things. You have to get rid of the current things that no longer serve you or have a point to being in your life. That could be friends, bad habits, or social media. Being around people and things that no longer serve you or that are toxic keeps you seesawing in and out of negativity. And when you are trying to elevate and evolve, there is no need to flirt with anything or anyone that brings toxicity or obstructive behavior to your life. You want to vibrate as high as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And a way to do that is to surround yourself with positive and good people and things that bring you joy and uplift you. You want genuine things and people around you. You want to be around the right people who have your best intentions and the right motives. Everybody does not deserve access to you. They just simply don't. Everyone has not earned access to you. Everyone has not earned access to your time. Time is too valuable and precious, and the more you elevate, the more you should be selective with who you share your time with. Now, getting rid of toxic people can be very hard and challenging to do sometimes, especially when it comes to friends, coworkers, and family members, people that you see at a more higher frequency. So my advice for that would be to slowly wean yourself away from those people and situations, or limit the time that you spend with them. And if I'm being honest, some people you just have to love from afar. Number 4, envision yourself as your highest self. Now, this step is very, very powerful. This one is very important and very vital to assessing your higher self. Visualization is such a powerful tool, and sometimes to believe something, you have to see it. So start visualizing yourself as your highest self. Start visualizing your dream life. So for this step, you would need to write down all of the characteristics that describe your best self. You would need to write down what your best self would eat, what your best self would drink, where would your best self live, what kind of house would it be, what would you have in the house, would it be a modern house, contemporary, traditional, what year was the house built in? Describe the house in very specific details. What kind of clothes would your best self wear? What kind of job would you have? How would you wear your hair? What kind of friends would you have? What level of education would you have? How would you walk? How would you talk? What kind of hobbies would you have? The point of this step in this exercise is to be as descriptive and to be as imaginative as you possibly can be. The more descriptive you are about every aspect of your dream self and your dream life, the stronger the visualization will be. You need to be able to see yourself in that higher way. Now, I've actually had a very powerful experience with visualizing my higher self and seeing my higher self. Now, there's a particular point in my life where I was just tired of being in what we call the matrix. I was tired of working the 9 to 5. I was tired of the hustle and bustle. I was tired of being on this continuous hamster wheel. And I just wanted to take some time away from working and just focus on myself, spend more time with my friends and family. I wanted to focus more on acting and just anything that made me happy and just self-development. So I took what was supposed to be 4 months off from work, which ended up being a year. Because after the 4 months, I was just like, I'm over it. I don't want to go back. I'm not going back right now. And if you know me, I can be very structured, but I can also be very spontaneous and rebellious when I'm passionate about certain things. So to make a long story short, I was out of work for about a year. I had gone off script. So money was dwindling, and I found myself scrambling trying to find a job or just any income that I could find at the time. And this led me to working an overnight security job at NASCAR. And if you know how NASCAR works, it's about a 3 or 4 day event. People come in from all over the world, they tailgate, they bring their RVs, they stay overnight. It's a really big event. So with my job, I just had to park my car in front of a gate or a particular area, just making sure that people were parking where they were supposed to be parking. And the hours were from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I worked this job 12 hours a day for about 3 days. I was sleep deprived. I was very sick. And I remember on the last day, because my friend had done the job with me and they were parked at the next gate over about a 3-minute walk. And I remember on the last day, I got out of my car and I looked up at the sky and I said, oh my gosh. And it looked like it was going to rain. And if you know how NASCAR works, if it rains, they have to stop the race. Those cars cannot race when it rains. So I walked down to where my friend was and I was like, hey, it looks like it's about to rain. And they were like, yeah, if it rains, they'll shut it down and we'll still get paid, for all of our time. I think I had about 3 more hours to go. Very tired. I could not do it. I said, Tammy, you got to stick this out. You gotta do it. So as I began walking back to my car, it still had not rained and another race had started. If you've ever been to NASCAR, it's very, very loud. When the cars race, it's so loud you cannot hear anything. And I didn't have any earplugs. As I began walking back to my car, it was so excruciatingly loud. And you know how people say God speaks to you when it's quiet? Well, he spoke to me when it was very loud. And I think he did that to grab my attention, to quiet me. Because it was so loud, I could not even hear my own thoughts. I became very calm and I saw a vision appear before me. It was of a girl who was also at the NASCAR race, but she was in the skybox watching the race from above. And she was very well groomed, very clean, very polished, very beautiful. She was in shape. And you can just tell that she was very wealthy and that she had made some really good decisions in her life. And the girl was me. I was seeing a vision of myself in a very different way, a very different version of what I actually was. And here I was looking at this girl who was very wealthy, very well groomed, and we just looked at each other. We caught each other's eyes. She looked at me as if she were saying, "What happened to you?" And I looked at her as if I were saying, "So this is what I could have been." And I remember just staring at her and just looking at myself, taking this overnight security job, sick, and just really doing a job that I probably had no business doing, but I needed the money. And I remember thinking, how did I let it get this far? And just seeing her, it took my breath away. I finally got back to my car and I became very emotional because I realized that I needed to have seen that vision of myself. I had forgotten about myself. I had gotten so down and out that I forgot how great I was, how great I could be. I forgot about that other version of myself that I used to be or that I could be. And I needed that reminder, and just seeing that just made everything make sense of why I took that job, why that job even came my way. God needed to grab my attention, and I needed to see myself in a higher light. And that vision, that moment, that job literally changed my life. Number 5, write down 5 to 10 goals and work on them. How can you work on your goals if you don't know what they are? Write them down. Write down about 5 to 10 realistic, feasible goals, and just do a doable number for now so that you don't overwhelm yourself. Focus on a little at a time, and once you finish those goals, then you can start working on the next set. How you knock out those goals will be your test and help you determine how you will work on your next set of goals. But you have to get them out of your head and onto paper so that you can see them and start visualizing them. Now, another way to write down your goals is one of my personal favorites is by doing a vision board. Even when I'm working on a big project or a small project or a self-improvement project, I will do a vision board. And when you create your vision board, be very specific. You can put words, pictures, whatever you need to actually conceptualize your goals. This is essentially the art of manifesting. The more you see it, the more you will believe it. And when you believe it, things start to come true. And also, the more you believe it, the more you will start to put action towards it. Which brings me to my next point. Number 6, make a plan of how you are going to achieve your goals. Faith without works is dead. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If you don't focus on your goals, put energy towards your goals, how are you going to expect to achieve them? You have to go by the theory that nobody is going to give you anything. No one is going to buy into your dreams as much as you. They are your dreams. No one knows what you can do until you do it. You don't even know what you can do until you do it. So create a solid, realistic plan of action for each goal. Even just doing a little something every day will help and bring you closer towards your goal. Put together realistic steps and timelines. Also in this step, you can also make a plan B and a plan C just in case. Also take note of when you should pivot. If you've given your goal 6 months and that's the deadline for that goal, make a plan of where and how you are going to pivot or what you are going to enter into next. Plan for the good, the bad, and the ugly, but hope for the best. In this step, you look into and dissect all the good things that can lead into better things, and you look into all the worst case scenarios. Plan and just prepare for it all. Cover all of your bases. The more you plan, the more confidence you will have in pursuing your goals, and the more comfortable you will be in taking a calculated risk. Number 7, make peace with it and let it go. Some of us are holding on to things that have already let go of us. Some of us are holding on to baggage, broken promises, broken hearts, hoping for closure, hoping for forgiveness. Some of us are owed an apology, and some of us need to give an apology. If you told a lie and you need to come clean, go ahead and do so. If a certain person hasn't given you closure, give it to yourself. No one can truly give you closure but you. We can't wait on other people to make us feel better. We have to do that for ourselves. If there is a relationship, friendship that you need and want to repair, go ahead and start making those steps towards it. Go ahead and have that difficult conversation. Go ahead and say what you have been meaning to say, but just never had the chance to. Whatever it is holding you back, making you feel bad, stressing you out, or leaving you with an unsettling feeling, go ahead and give yourself permission to just let it go. Make peace with it, especially if you've done your part and you've done all that you can do. And last but not least, forgive yourself and don't be too hard on yourself. Understand we all make mistakes and we all could use some grace. Number 8, make healthier choices. Health is wealth. If we don't have our health, then what do we have? We have to watch what we put into our bodies, and we have to watch how we treat our bodies. The more bad food you put into your body, the more stress you put on your body, and the harder your body will have to work. Now, I'm a foodie, and I love to eat, although I'm a very picky eater. If I find something that I love to eat, I will eat it all the time. Now, one thing I do love to do is working out. Working out is very spiritual for me, and it really grounds me. But all your gains can be sabotaged if you put the wrong food in your mouth and if you overeat. Now, nothing is wrong with enjoying food, but there does need to be some kind of balance, and moderation is key. You can go to your favorite restaurant, but you can pick a more healthier item off the menu versus going to your go-to meal, or you can just eat half of the meal. You can cut back on snacking or buy healthier replacements, or just start by deleting bad things from your diet. For example, stop drinking soda. I stopped drinking soda years ago and I went cold turkey. Now I know everyone can't do that, but for me it worked. And now I don't even crave soda. I may drink maybe a sip here and there like every 2 years. Our body is our home, and if you don't take care of it, where will you live? I read a quote the other day that said, change before you have to. Also, make healthier choices as far as what you feed your mind. Going back to social media, take some time off of it if you feel like you're starting to get negative effects from it, or just delete the apps altogether. Make sure your social media feed is filled with positivity and things that make you laugh and feel inspired. And mental health is just as important as physical health, which leads me to my next point. Number 9, work on your mental health. If that means getting therapy, taking some time off from work, finding a less stressful job, do that. Tend to your mental health. If that means just talking to a trusted friend and just venting, do that. Taking care of your mental health could mean just having a girls' night out. It could mean taking yourself out to brunch and just spending some alone time with yourself. I remember I had one job where I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but I was off on Thursday. And so every Thursday, I would make sure to just do something just for me. Whether that meant taking myself to see a movie, taking myself out to eat. I would just take the full day and just focus on me. And I liked having that weekday off because everybody else was at work. So when I was out and about, I felt like I didn't have to compete with big crowds. I was just kind of in my own world, doing my own little thing. Something about just having that day for myself was so healing and so rejuvenating. And it just reconfirmed for me how mental health and balance is so important. Also, a lot of people deal with pain in silence. So I say that to say, please be kind. You never know what someone is going through. Even just a simple smile can brighten someone's day. Some people don't know how to ask for help, and some people are afraid to ask for help. So another way of taking care of your mental health is just letting someone know when you don't feel good. Sometimes we just can't do it by ourselves. We just can't. I know it can be hard and for some even embarrassing, but just try to let someone know, and if they can't be there for you, they may be able to provide some helpful resources for you. Sometimes we take on these heavy loads by ourselves and it was never intended to be that way. So if you need it, just let someone help you if they can. Number 10, get out of your comfort zone and face your fear. A lot of us cling to what we know and would rather stay in a bad situation because it's familiar versus being uncomfortable in a new situation that could be better for you. Being complacent is one thing, but to keep accepting it is another. We have to go towards our fear instead of running away from it. Oftentimes, what we need or that big dream or that big opportunity is on the other side of fear. And we truly don't know the outcome until we try. I know this is all cliche, but you have to try. You have to challenge yourself. You can't always do what is comfortable or you will never grow. And that is what life is about. Me being on YouTube right now is me doing that exact thing. As some of you may know, I am an actor and I am used to being characters on camera. I am used to being someone else. I'm not used to being myself on camera. And for so long, I put off YouTube because I was so afraid to be myself on camera. But I don't want to be led by fear, so I pushed through it and I challenged myself, and I'm still challenging myself now. This is really hard for me right now, but it's very important for me to understand and to know that fear, my cat. But it was very important for me to challenge myself and not let fear hold me back. So if I can do it, then you can do it. Number 11, wear your power color. Now this is kind of a wild card, but it actually works. And a lot of people don't know the power of wearing your power color. A lot of people think that their power color is their favorite color. Now, although your favorite color can be your power color is not necessarily your favorite color. So how do we distinguish between the two? Okay, so my favorite color, my number one favorite color is black. I feel that black is strong, it is bold, I feel that it is powerful. It's a color that I've always gravitated towards. But I believe my power color is yellow or gold. because every time I wear yellow or gold, the reactions from people are different. I get so much positive energy. I feel like I vibrate higher. There's something about me when I wear yellow or gold or anything in that wheelhouse. I don't know what it is. A lot of good things happen, or a lot of power is released when I wear that color. And it is said that color is a powerful communication tool and can be used to signal action, influence mood, and even influence psychological reactions. So colors are very powerful, and colors can do a lot. I think it's a good color for my skin tone. My skin seems to glow when I wear those colors. My hair color seems to pop out when I wear those colors. So I haven't quite figured it out all the way yet, but I do know there's something very magical and very powerful about me when I wear that particular color. And on the flip side of that, gold actually happens to be my second favorite color. So for me, my favorite color is my power color. So I would suggest figuring out what's your power color. And like I said, it could be your favorite color, but like I said, it's most likely gonna be the color that you wear that gets you the most compliments, that people say, wow, that's a good color for you, or that looks good on you. If you start to get a lot of compliments about a particular color, start buying more clothes in that color and wearing that color more often, and watch what happens. And last but not least, number 12. Do not wait until New Year's Day to begin working on your goals. I repeat, do not wait until New Year's Day to begin working on your goals. That is the oldest trick in the book. It does not work. And you already know that because you tried it time and time again. If you don't break the cycle, it will only repeat. No one said it would be easy, but it is necessary. Don't stress about it. Don't feel overwhelmed about it. Just take little steps towards your goals every day. If you don't want to start today, start tomorrow, start within a week, but just don't put it off till New Year's Day. That is only a trick for you to delay or postpone what you know you should already be doing. Just imagine your higher self and how proud you would be if you took 1 month or 2 months or 3 months and just really worked on yourself. Just imagine how much better you would feel about yourself and the pride that you would take knowing that you did it for yourself. The fastest way to getting to your goals is taking little steps towards it every day. Just imagine when you stopped believing in yourself, or when you doubted yourself, or when everyone else doubted you, and you come back and you are the plot twist. So that's all we have for today's video. So what tips do you all have for accessing your highest self, and what are some of the things you want to work on for yourself? Please leave your thoughts below in the comments section. And for all of you that have commented on my videos, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It really helps a lot to help me understand what kind of content you want to see. So thank you so much for commenting. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.